everybody, if you like this shirt, you can get it in 1 week at deadmeatstore.com. We're doing an awesome collaboration with Creep with the Dead Meat video branding, and you'll be able to find this shirt and a cool looking hoodie again in 1 week on deadmeatstore.com. Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Creep 2, released in 2017. Creep 2 is the sequel to 2014's Creep, the micro-budget found footage film that consisted of 2 people in its entirety. That's how it became the first movie on the Kill Count to only have a single kill. I made an exception to my long-standing rule of 2 kills minimum, simply because I liked the movie so much. Other people did too, which is why they made a sequel, and more recently, a series on Shudder with an upcoming 3rd season. Creep 2 is very much a repeat of the first film, but not necessarily in a bad way. I'm just saying, if you like the first one, you'll probably dig this one too. If you didn't, I don't think it'll convert you. Once again, Mark Duplass's nameless character conscripts a videographer whom he fucks with for about 80 minutes straight. The difference here is that there's no mystery around him at the start. We know his behavior isn't just misinterpreted awkwardness. He's a full-on psychopath who emotionally manipulates his victims for days on end before going in for the kill. But Creep 2 is great because he gets a proper match. The first movie's Aaron, played by director Patrick Brice, was a big old softy whom the so-called Joseph walked all over. He was easy prey. This time though, the killer employs a desperate YouTuber named Sarah who won't let him get under her skin. She matches his freak and serves the shit right back to him instead of letting him dictate every interaction. She's a great character with a great performance by Desiree Akhavan that makes the film just as good as the first one. Or even better, according to many. It currently has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, for what that's worth. Now, before we get to Creep 2, let's talk about something that's creepy too. This is a report full of, for the sake of not doxing myself, redacted information that data brokers sell about all of us, like our address, phone numbers, relatives, neighbors, and more. Selling this information has become a massive industry, with data brokers profiting off of our information and selling it to anyone who will buy, no matter their intentions. And that can have real impacts on us, from annoying issues like overly targeted ads to actively harmful ones like spammers, scammers, and doxing. I literally have friends who have had their numbers and addresses leaked in the past, and it was far from pleasant. In one case, the police showed up at their house in the middle of the night, and that is terrifying. Thankfully, we can protect ourselves against this with the help of today's sponsor, Aura. Aura works by identifying data brokers that sell your information, automatically removing you from their lists and then keeping you off. And while there are lots of other services that offer this, Aura has the most features at the best price, with features like identity protection to make sure that even if your info is leaked, you're protected. In fact, in 2025, Aura sent more than 14 million dark web alerts to customers. That's like an alert every other second. Wow. It's a holistic approach that I really appreciate, with them working to identify every spot where our data can be at risk, rather than relying solely on combating data brokers. Your data is getting sold as we speak, but you can keep yourself and your family protected with Aura. Go to aura.com/deadmeat to get a 14-day free trial. Will Creep 2 be able to creep past Creep 1's kill count of 1? Let's find out in Creep 2: The Kills. The movie begins with a dude opening a box, a hairy box. Wait a minute. There's a disc inside, which freaks out the guy, but he sticks it in his player anyway. On it is footage of his house from the night before, as the cameraman whistles, and we know whose lips they are. Because that tune is the freaking Peach Fuzz song, often sung and whistled by, well, yeah, that guy. In the first film, he called himself Joseph, but now he's calling himself Aaron, taking the name of the trusting sorry sack we saw him kill. He's apparently befriended Dave here in a similar manner, and has been secretly harassing him with phone calls and DVDs. Oh, and his hairy box.
This person sent you a stuffed baby wolf?
Oh, okay, it's not a hairy box. We're looking out from a nanny cam type thing and a baby wolf plushie. Dude sure loves his wolves. Dave seems to be a softie like real Aaron was, and it's clear new Aaron likes messing with him in the same way.
Dave, if I ask you a question, would you answer me honestly?
Yeah, of course.
Do you ever think about how we met right around the same time you received your first DVD in the mail?
He fesses up to everything and admits that he's having a midlife crisis. After turning 40, he doesn't have the same passion for murder like he used to. He'll still kill and leave Dave dead in a pool of blood, of course, don't get him wrong, but his heart's just not really into it anymore, you know?
What's happening to me?
A YouTube series called Encounters is hosted by Sarah, who answers Craigslist ads and films the people she meets.
Who are these people who write these ads? What is their story?
I mean, they're pretty much just people. Weird people, but hey, people be weird. And sometimes they want to be held like a little baby. I ain't gonna judge, but I also ain't gonna watch that shit. And apparently no one else is either. Her uploads have single-digit views. Been there, Sarah. Okay, maybe not that bad, but our Practical Folks series What's on the Box deserved way more views than it ever got. Aw, look at baby us.
Now it begins.
No.
Now it ends.
What's on the box? Sarah's ready to call it quits, with concerns I've had myself plenty of times.
I think I might be deeply untalented.
Her monologue about how she's failed to connect with people the way she wants to is really well done. Good enough to support her motivation for the entire rest of the film.
I never expected to make money doing this, but I thought at least I would be able to reach some other weirdos and make something special for them.
She's about to quit when she sees an ad that sounds perfect for her needs. Not even weird texts that end with a period can dissuade her from driving 3 hours into the woods to meet this remote mystery man.
Normally this is not a situation I would allow myself to get into, but maybe that's why this show has been sucking so much.
The door opens with a knock, so she steps inside to look around and get jump scared by a blender. Oh, I said you jump scared us with the I'll just wait. She meets the so-called Aaron, who's rocking a pony now. He gives her a glass of green drink.
That's good.
It's also poisoned. Obviously, I'm kidding.
Yeah, he sure is a kidder. He shows off his legs and tells her about himself.
I am what is commonly known as a serial killer.
He says he's killed 39 people, but I mean, I ain't counting tapes I've never seen of people I've never met. Sorry, bro. Aaron says killing used to feel magical and beautiful, a bona fide spiritual experience. But it's become more like a job lately, and he's looking to spruce things up, so he's hired her to make a documentary about it. Is she in? He promises not to kill her for 24 hours, and to give her exactly what she's been looking for.
I will give you the deepest personal access into my soul that you could possibly imagine. I will rip myself open and let you see every last inch of me. And together, I believe we will make magic.
She says she'll do it, but to test if she's actually dedicated, he shows her the end of Creep 1 with extra musical accompaniment.
I might look like the big bad wolf, but I'm as friendly as a rabbit.
But the snuff film ain't the final part of his test for her. He changes into a towel and says he'd like there to be no inhibitions between them. When she agrees with him, he makes good on that promise.
And let you see every last inch of me.
And every last inch of him she sees. He's proud of it too, standing there in a little general's pose. Just needs a Napoleon hat. Though Aaron probably expected to humiliate her here, Sarah doesn't back down in the face of his weirdness.
Is it my turn?
Sorry?
In fact, she returns it to him, stripping naked herself, which I think legitimately takes him aback.
Are we good?
Yeah, this chick ain't no OG Aaron. Mark Duplass and returning director Patrick Bryce couldn't figure out what to do for a Creep sequel until they landed on two things: the idea of a serial killer having a midlife crisis, and his foil, the character of Sarah. She was inspired by a New York-based performance artist named Laurel Nakadade, who would put herself in dangerous and isolated situations with men she didn't know. One instance even involved her and a stranger stripping down to their underwear. To play Sarah, they cast a fellow writer and filmmaker, Desiree Akhavan, whose coming-of-age indie dramedy, Appropriate Behavior, I really enjoyed. It was important to her, and Bryson Duplass, that Sarah was an aggressor, not a victim. They didn't want audience members worrying about her, so they needed someone confident and with a physicality that could stand up to Duplass.
She checked all those boxes, and she was down for kind of the you know, weird way in which we make those movies.
Oh, hey, what up, Dax? He interviewed me a bit ago, too. Check it out. Though she stands her ground, the experience does send Sarah to the bathroom for a breather.
Sarah, you were not there for 10 minutes before his dick was in your face. He's everything you've ever wanted in a subject.
Dude's got more red flags than a Chinese airport, but she doesn't believe he's really a murderer. She's got a knife in case he is dangerous, but he's probably just a little annoying, right? Alright, so like really annoying. He takes her to a shooting location he scouted some time ago, but has a freak out when it's drier than he planned. She encourages him to get through the crisis, and they film a bunch of takes of him starting his biography, only to get thwarted by planes and birds.
It's like a bad joke.
Paulie Pissy Pants ends up giving up and storming off until Sarah's making the Blair Witch Project all of a sudden. No, man, you're supposed to be standing in a corner, not just like planking on the ground. Dead mean, dude. Aaron's tantrum lasts into the night, but instead of being turned away, Sarah sees potential content.
He's so vulnerable right now, and I know the decent thing to do is just give him some space. But at the same time, it would be so easy to go down there and provoke him. and get the material I need.
I love how Sarah isn't completely sympathetic. Sure, we can admire her stoic responses to Aaron's manipulative power plays, but she's also in this situation for selfish reasons. From her perspective, she's exploiting a sad and potentially unwell dude for YouTube views. But in the face of Aaron's actions, and us knowing the full picture of who he is, she becomes very rootable. You want to see her get one over on this creepy weirdo. She finds him in the midst of Tubby Time 2.0, and he tries to kick her off the documentary. But Sarah ain't gonna let him Ken burn her like that. She insists that he share his story with her, so he talks about an experience he had when he was 15. While hitchhiking, a stranger drove him into the woods, beat him, and planned to bury him alive. Aaron was not only captured, but captivated.
He was magnetic. I loved him.
He was able to get loose and kill the guy, kicking off his lifelong lust for murder. But he's lost that bloodlust now, and with it, his love for life. It's okay, little murder baby. Sarah will make you feel all better. Who's a good little peach fuzz? Wow, she really might be turning the tables on him. Oh damn, she is turning the tables on him. She's fucking Tape Face! Ha, these two are just made for each other, huh? Or at least that's what Sarah's trying to make Aaron believe.
I think I always thought I was gonna die before I could share my work with anyone. But now I have you.
Though she still doesn't think he's actually killed anyone, she entertains his stories all the same, including one about original Aaron.
One of my latest was this big old sweetie, and I called him Buddy.
Interesting that he says that. In Creep, he told Aaron that Buddy was the name of his fictional future son. But if he was actually calling Aaron Buddy, it makes the Tubby Time scene even weirder, since he was talking to Buddy the whole time.
Oh, Buddy.
Things start to get downright domestic between them until Aaron reveals he knows that Sarah is using him for content for encounters. But he says he's not mad. In fact, he's grown to like her so much, he wants her to kill him on camera.
I know you well enough to know that you will do anything to make a great piece of art. And this will be the most unbelievably exciting episode of Encounters that you can possibly imagine.
The first attempt sees him peach fuzzify before laying down so she can lop his head off with his Aaron killing axe. Sarah can't bring herself to play Hatchet Man, so Aaron tries to get her to play Hangman instead. This way, she can just be an accessory to murder. It's like a tutorial level. But Sarah can't even passively let him die. It does piss her off though, cause that shit was fucked up. Probably pissed off YouTube too, but calm down, okay? It wasn't actually self-harm. He was wearing a harness the whole time, or so he says. Sarah's still pretty roiled, so he tries to assuage her by opening up.
I really like you. And I'm just trying to connect with you.
He gives an explanation that keeps her interested. He was putting on a show this whole time, wanting to give her good content for an interesting episode of Encounters. He even says he was lying about being a murderer, just as she suspected. It's the perfect thing to say to win her back to his side.
I think it'll make a really good scene.
I know, right?
They become buddies again, but this might be the first time Sarah actually feels real sympathy for Aaron. He tells her he's never kissed a girl before because of his weird upbringing, and she feels sorry enough to give him a big ol' smooch. Well, a dry, chaste smooch, but Aaron don't mind.
That was cool.
Aaron leads her outside to film the climax of her Encounters episode. He takes her to an open grave, much like the one from his hot tub hitchhiking story. Before their martini shot, he gives her a wrap present, regifting the locket he made for real Aaron in the previous film.
Sorry, there's a picture of me and another guy in there. I didn't have a chance to make one specifically for you. You were a bit of a surprise.
Aaron's taken a gift for himself as well, the knife from her boot. Finding herself disarmed, the fear starts to creep into Sarah's face, especially when the creep starts to stab himself off screen. He stabs himself 5 times! Aaron reveals that when he dug this grave, he didn't know if it would be for him or for Sarah. But now that they've connected so deeply, ¿por qué no los dos? Sarah doesn't want to be the Juliet to his Romeo though, so she runs away. Aaron catches up to her, but that happens. There's a tackle behind a tree and a bunch of unseen stabbing is heard. Eventually, Aaron emerges, dragging Sarah's body to the open grave. After putting her in there, he crawls back out to film his call to action. He's changed his mind. He doesn't want to die anymore. I guess Sarah connected with him so much, he's found his love for life again. But while she might be his muse, she ain't gonna be his martyr, since she's still alive as well. She ends his monologuing with a shovel to the head, cutting him short and the camera to black. The film picks up sometime later, where we find Sarah alive and well, and still wearing that locket. Aaron must have made an impression on her after all. She's being filmed by an unknown camera operator, who starts whistling a familiar tune. The movie ends with Sarah spiking the camera, and she don't like what she sees. How many kills did we peep in Creep 2? Let's find out and get to the numbers. And I think there's only one way to get there.
Do the creep, and do the creep.
Just like with the first film, there was only a single kill in Creep 2, that Dave guy from the beginning. This count and breakdown has only been seen once before. I'll give you 3 guesses as to which episode. With a runtime of 80 minutes, I mean, obviously, we had a kill on average every 80 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Dave. It's sudden and bloody, which is actually a bit unexpected in a Creep film. And since that was the only kill in the movie, Creep 2 doesn't get a dull machete. And that's it. Creep 2 came out in 2017 and would be followed up 7 years later with the Creep Tapes, a fun little show on Shudder. Check it out, lots of good guest stars in it. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching the Kill Count for Creep 2. I finally put new batteries in the spinny thing that holds the lament configuration, only to discover that it occasionally makes a very loud creaking noise while I'm recording, so that kind of sucks. Yes, this is our second collab merch lineup. We did one with Hell House LLC a while back, and now we're doing one with Creep. Look, you got a little peach fuzz on the thing there. I know it's summer, but there's also this very cool hoodie, you know, just buy ahead. It's got an awesome Dead Meat Video logo on the front, and then check out this artwork on the back, dude. That's pretty effing cool. Peach Fuzz handing you a videotape from Dead Meat Video in the back. That's awesome, man. Again, I know it's very hot out right now, but if you get this now, you'll be happy in a few months. I wanna thank some patrons like Logan Bailey, Chelly Bean, Alto the Sting, Sol Riaga, and Fran Poopenhouse. Fran, come on. Thanks everyone, be good people.